George, thanks for coming on tonight. Tell us a little bit about you and your current businesses and what you're involved in on a daily basis, just as a bit of background.
First, I'd like to thank yourself, Cam, Kelly, John, Danny, and all the other IDTA team, hub leaders and traders who trade the futures with IDTA. I'm sort of very grateful to be part of this community and what this community brings to its members. It's brought me such personal growth and wealth that I'm always ever grateful. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, George.
So I guess a little bit of my business. We've been in the optometry business now for 25 years from last month. So we've just gone down to one practice in the Sydney CBD now. We used to have four pre-COVID, but we decided to consolidate. And the way I feel is I've gone part-time now as such. In my employment, but anyway, it's still a full-time job. But yeah, I think COVID had some effects on us. From us personally in the city, it contracted our customer base, but also made us, rethink our direction in life. And
with your trading of futures, I know because you joined when we first started, pretty much back in around 2013, 2014. So you're one of the first members from I remember. And had you had much experience in the futures? I know you'd probably done some other financial market work, but have you done any work in the futures up at that point?
No, like prior to joining IDTA, I did do a little bit of forex trading.
Yeah.
And even though I'm sort of long euro at the moment on forex, so I still felt like the reason I joined IDTA, I guess, was I wanted to take advantage of the markets when they're going short. I was feeling like I was a long-term investor for a few decades, and I found, I was making money when the market was going up, but not so much when the market was, not rising or being steady over a few years, which is half its trading is a bit like that. So I wanted to I guess learn more about futures, and then I came across you guys back in around about the 2013 mark, where I started doing a couple of courses, platinum courses, and then I did I guess one of the TBS courses straight after that. So
Yeah. So how has your trading style evolved over the years? Tell us about your trading style, because I remember George was always, you seem to have even when you first started, you really seemed to understand the money management side of things, and having a very, like almost like a reward, which was well and truly skewed in your favor. But your risk was always very tight as well. Is that still something that you focus on?
Yeah, it's sort of developed, I guess, over the last 10 years or so. I've had some good runs and really good weeks, at times making up to about 25,000 for the week. Now I sort of tended to go more for, I guess, not as much trading as I used to do. I might just trade 2 or 3 nights a week. And generally go for maybe 3 to 5 trades a week as such. So I'm looking for more an opportunity to go for either a long position, be it short or long, based on the market and what the market's telling me. So what I'm looking for is almost like an oversold position where, the market is down and you can see it's oversold, and obviously the sellers have to start buying, and I try and get at the very bottom of the market. And I do the same, like even last night, for example. I saw the market going up to a high level, and it was probably like a 48.2 fib, and I got in just before the US Open, and then the market went probably about 600 ticks in my favor by trading that sort of trading style, I guess.
And
So,
and when you have those, like when you say you go for those larger targets, is there times sometimes where you might not get it right the first time, like it might not move the first time, but do you stick with it? Do you give it some time for that trade to?
so generally, like my risk on the trades is anywhere between say 50 to 150 ticks.
Yeah,
But generally, I am going for 500 ticks plus.
yeah,
So even if I lose one, it's still a very good risk reward ratio,
yeah,
and I'm actually getting good results. And, sometimes I'm testing the market, and I might get stopped out once, but I know it's at the top of the level,
mm,
but it might have been a little bit too early. So I'm happy to go a second time. And it generally works. So
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
always getting it right. It's a matter of, being at the right place at the right time, I guess. So like even I think Tuesday, like I took a trade at about 10 to 1, and it was about
yes,
525 ticks, and it was about like a 4-hour trade. So
yes,
so that's typical of one of my trades. Then last Wednesday, I took another one for about 252 ticks. That was for about 40 minutes from about quarter to 12. And then last Thursday, another 616 ticks from about 11:30 to for about an hour, just under an hour. So,
well done. Is there any advice you could give for a new trader that's getting into the business and is getting a little bit overwhelmed by all of the emotion that's associated with it, with trading?
sure. I guess the first thing I'll have to ask is ask yourself, what's your strong why? Why are you doing this, and why are you doing it now? And
Mm,
why does it matter to you? You really need to have a why you're doing this to to be in a trade and make it work, so you can sort of go to the next stage.
yeah,
And my thing is, you need your education. You need to go to do the courses. You need to be an avid reader and learn about yourself and the
mm,
markets, because typically, the markets. It's basically, 80% of the issue is typically more of an emotional issue.
yes,
Are you in control? And how do you react when the market moves against you? So it's about looking at your emotional side and how you can control that. And obviously, I've done a few courses with IDTA, which helped quite a lot. The other 20% is the process performance measuring. So yeah, mindset is number one as far as I'm concerned.
yeah.
So
I totally agree. It's that being aware of your thinking and your behavior, and sometimes that it can be very, very difficult. And that's why we have such amazing coaches, such a great experienced group that provides such great way of helping our traders through going through that emotional journey. These types of things are things you don't really learn from at school or from your family unless your parents are sort of involved in these sorts of businesses and understand about risk and reward and how to manage those things. It's very much a mental game, isn't it, George?
yeah, so what I'd recommend as well is, if you have a strategy and a process, follow that to the T as much as you can,
Mm,
and do that consistently, so over, say, 30 trades.
yeah,
And not until then you make a decision, has that worked or not? Because you want to take the sort of the variance out of the equation and sort of say,
yeah,
what are my results over a long period of trades?
yeah,
Because we always look at a situation like now. I've had a loss. That my strategy doesn't work. But if you test it over, 30 trades, you might have an advantage. So it's a
mm,
matter of going through that strategy as such. And
yeah,
I guess as Bruce Lee sort of says, like he sort of says, I fear that. There's someone who hasn't practiced a kick 10,000 times, but I fear a man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. So it's about having your strategy, using it, and then getting your results and your decision making. So
yeah, it is. It's about not being reactive to one outcome. I think like what you said tonight, you've discovered in your trading now, you may be trading 3 times a week. You might take about 3 or 5 trades. So your volume of trading isn't as much, but it's very consistent. What you're doing is consistent day in, day out.
Just waiting for that right location and time frame. And, at times I don't trade. I'll open up the computer. The market doesn't make sense to me. I'll look at the long-term positions in the 1 hour, 15 minutes and 4 hours. And there's no confluence with the direction of the market. And I know it's going to be a tough market. So I'll close the computer. I'll down and do some other study or read a book or whatever I do. So,
and one final question, I think, from what you've learnt throughout your time as a trader, what would be one thing that you could share with with the beginner traders? What's the one thing that you wish you adopted earlier in your learning?
I think trading will transform you as a person. What you think about, it makes you sort of stronger mentally and emotionally by reviewing your actions and results.
Yes.
And just at the end of the day, you'll become a better person because you understand yourself more. And you want to live your life on your terms, not your emotional state, but your own results that you want to get. So live life into your own terms by taking control, I guess.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for joining, George. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and we look forward to catching up with you at the annual conference as well.
Great. And I wish all the traders all the best in their personal growth and improvements in their trading lives. So thank you.